Charlton here with the Charlton Advantage team, and this is the first episode of the Secret Stash podcast. And I'm very excited to share the process of getting free government money. This is something we've talked about in the buyer class for almost 10 years. I've shown dozens of people how to do it, and it's really creating something from nothing. Now, most people know that there's a federal program that exists in Canada that allows you to take, at the time of shooting this video, up to $25,000 per person. So up to could mean $5,000, $10,000, or up to $25,000. If you're a couple, that means $50,000 that you can take from your RRSP. It's the only time in your life when you don't get penalized for taking the money out. And so it's a great opportunity for first-time buyers. Even if you don't have a down payment saved, but you have money in the RRSPs, you can convert one side to the other. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do this. Option one is you already have money in the RRSP, so you've contributed 3 years, 5 years, 10 years ago. The money's sitting there and you can now use it, take it out. You would have received a tax refund in a previous year. So how RRSPs work is if you make $100,000 a year and you put 25 in this tax cycle, then the government considers you to make not 100,000 but 75,000. So the balance after your contribution. So you would have paid taxes as if you were earning 100,000. So you get the money back, the tax money that you would have paid on that $25,000. So depending on your tax bracket, maybe the government takes a quarter of your income, maybe they take up to a half of your income, and so you would reclaim that money as a tax refund. That's government money that comes back to you. So option one, it's good. You can take that money out, repurpose it. Option two starts to get a little bit fun because you can actually put the money in this year. So we're filming this video right at the end of January 2018. And so the RRSP contribution deadline is usually the end of February. So the next 30 days is a big opportunity for somebody. So if you do something in March or April, you need to get you're going to get your tax money the year after that. So it's not as good. I'm thinking specifically of somebody who has plans to buy a home this year. So let's say you've saved a down payment. Let's say it's $25,000. And you put that money into your RRSP. So it's got to sit there for at least 90 days. Then you can take it out and reclaim your original balance. So you still have $25,000. And so what would happen is claim your taxes, get your refund probably sometime in the spring. And now you have not only the original amount, but you also have the tax refund. If you're a high income earner, like I said, that could be up to 50%. So your 25 could, in the next 90 days potentially, turn into $37,500. Could turn into $30,000. It depends on what your tax bracket is. So this is one of the very few programs that rewards the high income earners. So that's okay. That works. There's nothing wrong with that. The third way is the twist that we've been teaching people for years, and it's completely legal. There's nothing, shisty about it or anything like that, but you could borrow that money. So let's just say, and this is a common scenario that we find people in, is they don't have a down payment. They don't have that $25,000. You could ask for an RRSP loan from the bank. You've got to be subject to qualification, but it's really not that difficult to qualify because the bank knows where the money's going. They know you're not going to pilfer it off doing something silly. So you can get that. You can ask your parents, you can ask your uncle, whatever you want to do. However you can get that $25,000, you could do the exact same process. Put it into your RRSPs. Wait at least 90 days. Report it on your taxes, get your refund, and then remember, you've taken the money out, you put it right back. So you could say to your uncle, look, I need $25,000, I'll give it back to you in 3 months, and then that's a zero balance on this side, but you've created that tax refund. So you might get a check from the government in the spring maybe it's $10,000, right? Maybe it's $12,000. So it's very common for us to see, especially with a couple, to see $10,000 or $15,000 in refund money coming back to them. That is free government money. You use none of your own money, okay? And you've created a refund out of that using this first-time buyers RRSP program. So what do you need to know about this? Number one, make sure you have the contribution room. So if you're new to Canada, if you just haven't been working that long, you may not have that $25,000 contribution room. You see that on your notice of assessment. It's a blue sheet after you pay your taxes. So the second thing is the money needs to be in for at least 90 days. We talked about that. Now, once you've created the balance, you have to pay it back within 15 years. But to get that upfront money, there's a lot more benefit in now money than later money. If you don't pay it off, then it's added to your taxable income and you pay tax on it. If you don't pay, we talked about that. So first-time buyers, we don't see it often, but it does happen. First-time buyer or somebody that hasn't owned a home in 5 years. So occasionally divorces can use this a second time. So the original balance needs to be paid off in the RSPs, and you could potentially do this a second time. So zero balance for the original program and 5 years of no home ownership. So somebody who went through some tough times, had to go rent for 5 years, could reapply for this program. So you do want to speak to a professional, specifically mortgage broker, if you want lawyer and accountant, but this is a very viable solution to create a down payment where really there wasn't any to begin with. So I hope you enjoyed our first episode of The Secret Stash. My name is Chuck Charlton, and we'll see you next time.